Hello, welcome to the morning meeting building JM. My name is Jimmy. Matty is here with me. We have a guest interview today, and we're going to answer a bunch of questions from YouTube, from the YouTube comments on the last video, which got, I think, just got like 40,000 views. So thank you to everyone who clicked and watched that, especially if you're returning to watch another one. If you want to subscribe, that helps us a ton. And thank you to everyone who left YouTube comments. We're going to answer one before we throw it to interview. It's not an interview, it's a conversation with Fuzzy. And then we'll do a bunch rapid fire afterwards. Hello to everyone that's watching on the Instagram live. Hope you guys are doing well. Though you guys will have, if you want to hear me and Fuzzy chat about YouTube and starting and all that, you're going to have to come to YouTube or podcast app.
Yeah.
Because we already recorded it last week. All right.
Yep.
That's it. How are you, Matty?
I'm good.
Well.
No, good.
Wow, that's what I did to Boone yesterday.
Really?
Did you know that?
No.
I said, yeah, you guys are playing you're playing good. And he said, we're playing well. And I said, no, I disagree. You're playing good.
Yeah.
And you just did it to me.
Gotcha. Yankees game last night was really fun. I had Bader in my friend's homer draft. And I don't know if you know, but the rules of my homer draft, if you watch the person you pick hit a grand slam in person, you automatically win the whole season.
Wow.
This Bader,
you should have to be filming it on your phone.
Oh, well, yeah.
Yeah.
But Bader had the chance to get up with the bases loaded 3 or 4 times last night. It never happened, one of which was the DJ bunt, which I was livid about.
That was pretty bad.
It was a fun game.
How many of you guys were you all in it? Like, was Dalton with you? Was it a big group, or was he with a different group?
Dalton was with a different group, but 8th and 9th inning, he came over and chatted with us. It was probably like a group of 10 or so people, and half of those were, maybe more than half, were Jomboy.
Cool. It's a good game.
It's a great game.
Yanks are awesome. They're the best.
Yeah. The first question before we jump into Fuzzy is commented last episode, I couldn't think of a name.
That's the commenter's name.
Commenter's name.
Think of a name.
Right. That's his name. And he suggested...
A lie. He did think of a name.
Well, that's up for debate.
Yeah.
But he suggested that rather than dumping 3 to 5 breakdowns out at once, because that probably doesn't work great with the algorithm, he suggested spreading them out, which honestly leads us very well into your new format, really.
Yeah, we're gonna try that out. That's like so. I mean, that's a lot of you people that know the YouTube game know. Like YouTube, the algorithm wants you to be on a schedule, and if people like regularly tune in, but yeah, it's just because my output changed that I really want to change this. So we are trying. We're trying to post one at 11 o'clock, and then if we have 2 for the day, 11 o'clock and like the nighttime, and we're tracking the breakdowns now. Mikey's helping track them, and I'm trying to break them out to like, tier 1 or tier 2. And the 11 clocks are the goal, especially Monday, Tuesday, to be tier 1. But actually, I'm posting the IPL Cricket one today because I didn't get it done last night. And we posted 2 things on the main channel yesterday. So we'll see how it does. But those have been good at getting new audience. We'll see. But yeah, we are trying that. The commenter, I couldn't think of a name. That is.
Yep.
And we'll see if people like it better. It never was a problem when I was pumping out 15 a week. If we released them back to back or we released them spread out. We actually had an advertiser tell us that like you shouldn't do that. And we were like, and this was back in 2021 when they were like, it was crushing. And we were like, no, it doesn't matter. We've like done the math. Because I would just, edit them and release them.
Yeah.
And sometimes the reason why we've been doing that recently is because having the energy to lay the voiceover is my hardest thing right now, where I don't have the time to get into that headspace of like not incredibly tired at night or alone time in a office in Manhattan. So what I would do is knowing that, okay, there's going to be a moment where I'm going to be in the mood to go record and do the voiceovers. Why don't I get like 5 edited to that point and then sit down and record 5 voiceovers in a row while I'm in that mood, which is rare to have these days. And then I would just have 5 done. And we were like, well, they're kind of topical. Just like post them because it never mattered. But we are trying to spread them out. I just hate sitting on things. I've never been good at sitting on things.
And the only thing that I would really add to that, just for anybody that doesn't know, when you were referring to tier 1 versus not, that just means tier 1 is like baseball or super viral moments.
Yeah, baseball or a moment that like transcends
its sport.
It's sport.
Mm-hmm.
Just a big viral moment. And
then tier 2 is content that we hope reaches a new audience, a la cricket.
Yeah, or I'm just having fun. Like that, the softball one I did. Monday night. Mm-hmm. I think we have that labeled as tier 2. I think it's doing pretty good. On socials, it's doing amazing.
I did see your chats in Slack that their family was responding.
Yeah, her dad and sister were, because people were being mean, because people are mean. It was a softball player that got hit. She's player of the year, I guess. I didn't know that. And then she says, "Hit me again, bitch." She hits a grand slam off her next bat.
Oh, that's fun.
There's craziness. There's like when Sale breaks TVs and you're like, that's too far. But that's just people that have never like competed or like read books about athletes that get on people for fake grudges. Like, athletes put chips on their shoulder whether they're meant to be there or not, because that's how they play. So if a pitcher hits you, whether it's accident or not, you in that, sports brain is not logical brain. It's in the heat of the moment. So it sucked that people were getting on her, because I showed Joe's and I was like, it's pretty cool, right? And he was like, yeah. He's like, it's cool that you're showing people how badass some of these girls in softball are.
Yeah.
I was like, I thought that would be. I think that probably is majority reaction, but assholes are assholes. So her dad was in the replies, and he was like going back at people. But I don't know if that's doing well on YouTube. I think it's doing better than your normal tier 2 breakdown, but it is crushed. It's got 1.5 million on TikTok.
Nice.
Just like the clips that Kyle's making off of it. 250 on YouTube. So that's pretty good for tier 2.
Yeah, after it's like a day? 2 days?
2 days, yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, I mean it's like way below average for breakdowns. Mm-hmm. So, after 1 day and 13 hours, but that's not bad for tier 2 breakdown.
Sure.
Yeah.
Fuzzy?
Yeah, should we? So Fuzzy, if you don't know who Fuzzy is a MLB YouTuber, gamer, and he has been growing in this space for a while. And I chat with him about this, but he's was almost like the welcoming committee for MLB baseball, and maybe he still is. So it's a lot about the behind the scenes business, grind, algorithm, playing, all that stuff, conversation. So I think even if you don't and aren't familiar with his content, but you enjoy the behind the scenes chatter, you're going to enjoy our chat, because he's good and he's been grinding for a while. Like, he's been in the mix. So let's get right to it. Here's Fuzzy. Well, your camera looks nice.
Thank you. That's what Matt said. This has been the same. It's like a cheap Lumix G7X that you just hook up to an Elgato cam link. There it is.
So how do you describe, like, when someone asks you, which I hate this question because I'm like, I don't know, but obviously everyone says YouTuber. But do you say YouTuber? Like, I'm a YouTuber, or I'm MLB YouTuber, or creator?
Dude, I can't get myself to say YouTuber. I just say I make content. And then they can, if they want to go into it even more, if their brain goes to adult content, if their brain goes to whatever content they think of, that's fine with me. I just make content. I work for myself. But if I was a TikToker, I wouldn't call myself a TikToker. If I was famous on Instagram, I wouldn't know what to call myself. So I just leave it broad at creator.
Well, it somewhat feels like it diminishes what you create by attaching you to just one platform.
But for me, because I branched out to TikTok and Reels, and I do so much all by myself, I just label it as a broad creator, because I don't just do YouTube anymore.
Exactly. Your content happens to like live on YouTube, but if you wanted to make that for like a website, or you wanted to make that for somewhere else, like, it would be there. But yeah, I feel like everyone kind of shies away from the one platform. Like, I'm a TikToker, or I'm on Vine, or
what about you? Would you say that you're more creator, YouTuber, or would you be a podcaster that does YouTube? Because a lot
Content
of people,
creator. I just keep it broad. Yeah.
yeah, because podcaster is a thing. Like so many people have podcasts now where it's not just I'm a YouTuber, I'm a TikToker, I'm a podcaster. Like when I see you, I think of you as a podcaster now, as opposed to you're still breakdown guy. You're always going to be a breakdown guy. But I think when I see your face, I think, oh, that's Talkin Yanks and broadcast. And
It's interesting. We were lucky when we started by putting ourselves in like so many different formats and on different platforms. Like we didn't just post on Instagram or just post on Twitter or just post on YouTube. So there's people the first couple of years that only knew me on Twitter and didn't know that I had a bigger following on YouTube, or followed on YouTube but didn't know I had like this Yankees following on Twitter.
oh, okay.
Because they weren't following for the same thing. You know, like the YouTube crowd was breakdowns only, and the Twitter crowd was more like just general baseball and Yankees talk. So it was kind of interesting when they realized other versions of like audience existed.
Yeah. But the more I see you post about YouTube analytics, the more I think, okay, he might be a little podcaster, he might get someone to chop up some reels, but in his heart, I know he loves YouTube, because only a YouTube nerd would talk about average view duration and CTR and RPM and all this different stuff. Because I love that stuff. If I could quit any job and be given some low-paying corporate job, I would want to help creators with their analytics, because it is my favorite thing in the world.
Because there's no answer. So you're just like constantly searching. It's like, it's like engineers or some shit, but I'm dumber than that. But Matty helps a lot. But I mean, it's really fun when we find like a little like nugget, like, oh, maybe this, maybe that. I mean, You've been doing YouTube for how long now?
Dude, I think I quit. I've been doing it since 2012 from the old Call of Duty Modern Warfare 3 days. So I've been doing it for a long time, but professionally, probably 5.5, almost 6 years now. And from the jump, I was obsessed with the analytics. So I feel like I've been able to, I think I make decent content, but I think I really check the boxes in terms of getting into the algorithm. And I think that's my bread and butter. I wouldn't say I have the best content by far at all in the baseball community. It's just get it in the algorithm. Hopefully it picks up and shows up and recommended, and my job's done.
Yeah, but that's like the catch-22 of like, just like getting it in the algorithm means you're making something people like, you know what I mean? Yeah. It's not like the music industry where they still get to like, it's actually people's brains and like money saying we're only going to force feed these 10 songs to you. Like the algorithm is society upvoting it basically. You know what I mean? Like people have to be clicking it and then they have to be enjoying it enough for the algorithm to keep pushing it. So it's not like a knock. Like that means you're making good content that people enjoy, because the algorithm and people are somewhat similar. There's differences every now and then, but it's like they coincide.
No, for sure. It's just, I don't know about you, but it's maddening, because when we started, it was pretty much just one algorithm, just the YouTube algorithm. Now there's the TikTok algorithm, there's the Instagram Reels algorithm, and it's getting to a point where I don't feel old per se, like a content creator grandfather, but I need help. Like I can't post YouTube videos every single day and shorts and it's so hard to keep up with all of the different attention spans, because people want their long content, but they also want to be able to laugh with a 5 or 10-second clip. So it's just, the algorithms are constantly changing. I forget what SEO means every other day, and that's important. So it's like trying to balance everything. I kind of miss the old days where it's just you made a solid video and that was your day. It's no longer good enough.
It's just you still? Like you don't have, do you have anyone that helps?
I have someone helping me with my gaming channel. So he's been a huge help to me with making thumbnails. And if I need an edit every so often, just to not work from 5 a.m. to 4 p.m. every single day, I'll give him an edit.
Lay out a week, like for the people that are listening to this show and like behind the scenes, but aren't familiar with your content. And also I'm curious because like, I know you do the daily baseball videos, which have to be an absolute grind. I can't imagine being in that cycle, but what's in a week? Like what are you releasing as far as like content and then clips and then repurposes and like, you know, the whole waterfall of it?
I would say like my goal every week is to try and post 20 times, whether that's videos, shorts, everything included. And for the most part, I wake up at 5 every single morning. I go straight to the ESPN box scores. I log every single play of every single game. Then I go get the clips. So from 5 to 8 every single morning, it's just scripting and downloading clips. And then I got to record. I'm terrible at recording. So I got to stop and start, re-record, do all this crazy stuff. Then you got to edit that part. So from like 5 to 12 every single morning, just MLB recap. And then at 12 p.m. exactly, MLB The Show comes out with new content. So as soon as I'm done with recap, no break. I got to eat like Trader Joe's prepackaged salads just to save time, make my MLB The Show content. So every single day is recap, ends at 12 p.m. I immediately hop on MLB The Show. Most oftentimes I'm editing and recording. So it's 5 a.m. to pretty much 3 or 4 p.m. every single day. And then I don't know how to relax. So I just stay working the rest of the day.
Do you give yourself any days off, any weekends off or anything?
Sundays I try because I'm like, this is the first actual time that I've been a content creator in 4 years that I've had a girlfriend. So I'm trying to balance, and I'm almost 27 now. Yeah, I know I'm almost 27. Not that I'm ancient, but my main goal in life is to have a family. And dude, now that you have a kid and you're balancing everything, I don't know how you guys fucking keep. Am I allowed to curse? My bad.
Yeah. No problem.
My bad.
No, you're good.
I don't know how you guys balance everything because I'm straight up struggling. The only reason why I'm up at 5 is because I'm training myself. I know I'm gonna have kids one day. I want to take them to school and be a part of like that whole schedule. And I still wanted to go to the gym and be healthy. The only way to do that is to suffer and wake up at 5 and get everything done.
I love that. I was talking today on the episode that aired last week about how much if I could do that, but I would wake up at 5 and get shit done in the morning. I did it today. I'm about to crash because it's almost 3:30, but I love it. But yeah, you're in the grind. Like the unfortunate thing is you have a daily show that people are in daily, and it's news. So that's a rule I have when anyone tries to pitch content, or I try to pitch content for myself and like come up with new shows. I'm like, nothing daily. Try to make nothing that's like timely or like where it becomes part of our weekly cycle. Because that's what Jake and I did to ourselves. We had, I think, 30 things, or not 30. It was like 3 a day. I think it was 40, but like half of them were every day. Like we did this every day. So there was just no break. That was a lot of the struggle last year when I started having a commute and having a kid and being like, there's no getting out of my schedule.
No.
Like we just had to kind of like cancel shows. And we did everything live on YouTube. So you couldn't push it because the audience was there and we were like trying to be really strict and hold ourselves to that. And it was tough, but I've slowly, like, you know, maybe my wife doesn't say I'm amazing at it, but I slowly tried to like get lanes. Like Saturdays, I'll watch the game on my phone. So there's no way that like we're not going anywhere, and I won't do any editing because Sunday we have to record. So I got to just try to find like strict rules, like, you know, so Saturdays are out, and I just know that. And that's
me
like,
and Sundays. Sundays are a no-go.
Yeah. That's how I've tried to do it. But also we built a company, right? So we hired out, which I'm sure you would be able to do. I don't know your financial situation, but like, you know, I'm sure if you wanted to get like even an intern editor, like even procuring those clips, that could be a task that you start like having someone do. It's just the training is worse than doing yourself. That is was a big learning curve. Is okay, we hired people, it's going to get easier. And then I was like, actually, it's going to get real harder because you're going to be doing it and training someone for like 3 months. Uh-huh. And then once they're in rhythm, then it's much easier. But I was like, shit, it's harder.
It is. And I have started the process of delegation where I'm saying, okay, this is my baby. I did this. I built this to what it is today. It's almost like if I said, Jimmy, you know, your breakdowns are your breakdowns, but it's time to give someone else a chance to edit them. Like you still edit your breakdowns, right?
Yeah, but that is I have like line editors now, and I'm really starting to give them more and more tasks. Like I'm trying to like, okay, the creative starts here, so this is when I take over. And then it's like I'm finding that the first step I do is the same every time. So I can kind of like tell them, okay, so like I'm getting better at that. My goal is to get to the point where I can get it to like all I got to do is come at the end and put character into it.
Well, let me ask you, so when you're delegating and giving someone else a breakdown, do you think that you shine most with pacing, or is it more of like your humor and the way that just the pacing of the video, it's not quite the same when someone else does it? Because to me, the way that I structure my video, it's definitely, I edit it, But when someone else gets involved, the pacing isn't quite as right because they don't do a cut. They do a cut 2 seconds too late instead of boom, 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 boom. And I still struggle with the average viewer is not going to care about the extra 2 seconds that wasn't cut out or the one zoom that wasn't made. So it's just the balance of, I got to trust more people. But like you said, it's hard to find trustworthy people in the content creation space that know baseball, because anyone can edit videos and do zooms and funny effects and insert a meme. But do they know the game of baseball enough to actually get what we're going with?
Yeah. The editing is the writing. Like, I don't write anything down for the breakdown. So I edit the clips together. And then in that, I'm basically in my head saying, say this here. Okay, the next part of the story that's important is this. Okay, introduce this player because he's going to come up later. And then say this. So then I spend so much time like reconstructing it basically and putting it the order I like. And then I do the voiceover in one take if I do it correctly. And it's all kind of fresh. What's that?
I said voiceovers in one take suck.
Yeah, so that's my goal. So what I'm building is I'm having like my editor like just make the puzzle pieces and color code them in Premiere. So they'll take the clip and every time the camera cuts, they'll mark it as a cut so I can readjust it. And then, replays of the game, we color code as yellow, and replays of players screaming, we color code as pink, and fan reactions are purple. So when I get it, I have all the puzzle pieces already broken down to their parts. And then I'm just going to put it into the order I like. So
that's
like we're just to the end of that.
Yeah, you guys have all but streamlined that process. That sounds easy peasy.
That's like, we just kind of got there very recently.
Because I saw you posted a timeline. I think it was probably a few weeks ago. And I noticed that there was different colors. It almost looked like a paint palette. And I was like, I don't know what that could be, but he's got his process.
Yeah, like it's very color coded now, and I kind of like typed up a Bible to give to the editor who helps me so they like understand it. But dude, it's really hard. Because it is the writing process. Same for you. Like if you're doing your voiceover, it's all the timing and it's the storytelling and like being able to know this and that. So getting better. I don't think it's ever going to be. I think I'm always going to do that part. Otherwise, they're not mine anymore. It's like a ghostwriter.
Yeah, no, and I hope that I don't come across like I'm complaining or I'm burnt out or anything like that. It's just I wish that I was a better creator simply because that would make my life 10 times easier. I wish I was a better editor. I wish I was better at time management, or I was better at delegating. Because when I talk with my friends, other MLB The Show YouTubers, we all look to Jomboy as, we wish we had a team. We wish that we actually had the balls to take that step and trust in other people. And I don't know if we would take on investments. I don't know how that stuff works, but you guys did it the smart way of, okay, we're going to trust in other people, build a culture, and make that the brand. And I think we all struggle with if that doesn't work out. You see what I'm saying? Like we just burn a hole in our pocket. All that money's gone.
I mean, I was lucky to have some people like fund it up front. It wasn't a ton, but like some like, and
how does
kind
that
of like
work, by the way?
support.
Like, yeah, I'm just curious. You don't have to answer, but going from straight YouTuber to getting investments, how does that conversation even come about?
Well, it started as an investment. Like I got 25 grand. And it was like, take this 25 grand, live off it, and try to build.
Like someone initiated this conversation for you.
We formed Jomboy Corp, a DBA doing business as Jomboy Media, because it was just me, and this guy who invested in it gave me 25 grand, and it was just me. And Jake was a voice on Talkin Yanks, but I was doing like all this shit to like grow it, and then after a year, we were like somewhat there. He bought in another 25 grand, and then Jake came on and we split that. So that's 12,500. So we were living off $1,200 a month. But the mindset when we incorporated and now someone owns a piece of the company, right? And I have to like make it work. The mindset was never be a single creator. So I just never had it from the start. I had the scary situation that you guys are like, if I become a company, what if I fail? Like that's how I started. I started with, this is a company, it might fail. I didn't start with like super successful. Like Talkin Yanks, the podcast was all right, but it wasn't anything crazy. So it was just like kind of born into the mindset of this is going to be bigger. This is going to be a company. And then in 2019, things started blowing up. The breakdown started getting big, and baseball was like, as you know, really looking for like media and coverage that was fresh. It was like everyone was starved for it. And some people in LA, Dodgers fans, a couple people reached out. They're like, "Are you taking investments? I think that this can be big." And then that was our first one. Yeah, so it kind of just kept happening. But that was the plan. But for you, it's much different because like how I wouldn't have known. I had people helping me and kind of guiding me into like what this should be.
Because you started your breakdowns, because it's funny. I remember my brother, Chasen, like 10 years ago, he walked into my room with a Yankees hat. I'm like, why are you wearing a Yankees hat? He's like, oh, this guy, Jomboy, I like his videos. Like a decade ago, whenever you first started with you were in a dark room making your breakdowns.
Yeah.
So, but this was never the plan, right? It was just you were making content to create content, or did you have this overarching dream board of I want to make Jomboy Corp one day and have tons of my friends work with me?
Yeah, it was to have a company.
Oh,
We didn't know what size, but have multiple personalities, not just have it be me and Jake. Like that was a decision that we had to make in 2019 when we took on the initial or that other investment, which was $300,000 at the time.
Is that the Dwayne Wade one or?
No, that was a little after.
Okay.
Close. But this was, so it was basically, do we want to be a lifestyle business, which means just me and Jake doing, the two of us doing as many shows as we can, and we're not expanding past that. So then you probably need me, Jake, a salesperson, and like a social media editor, like, a very small crew. And it was like, do you want to be that, or do you want to be a bigger company and you have more creators? Because no one was going to give us that initial investment if the answer was we just want it to be the two of us.
Yeah, that would.
So
never
that's
work.
when we had to cross that bridge and be like, no, yeah, like we want to make a company and like go after, like, I don't know. So that was that. But you reached out to me before all of this. I feel like you
Way back in the day.
You are, and I don't know if people know this about you, or maybe everyone kind of sings your praises, but you are like the greeter of like baseball content. At least you were. It felt like you reached out so early to help me out and like guide me. Like, I don't even think I was monetizing YouTube, and you were like, dude, monetize YouTube, put the SeatGeek code in. Like you were helping everybody to get into the space. Yeah.
I don't know what it is. It's like an innate thing in me where I feel like I need to give unsolicited advice whenever I think I need to. And it's never, because you guys always did a great job. So it's not like I saw you guys not capitalizing on things that you shouldn't. It was just me saying, hey, I tried this, see if it works for you. Like a couple of days ago, I joined the TikTok creativity program. It's like basically TikTok's new version of the YouTube partner program. They're paying like $1 RPM instead of 14 nickels or something like that. So I talked to Baseball Doesn't Exist, who I think now is like, I want to be Baseball Doesn't Exist. I don't want to make daily videos anymore. I hopefully in the future just make my MLB The Show content and scripted essay videos. But for the longest time, I felt like I wanted to give people the blueprint and not struggle the way I did, because I don't know about you, but my anxiety, and if I had 7 hours on a video of just man hours and then it got a 10 out of 10, I hated my life. So it was just one of those, if I could help out in any way, even if it was unsolicited, it went on deaf ears. I just wanted to throw things out there. Like I've been a dick to a lot of people, but also I feel like I've done some good. So I'm trying to just not be a dick anymore. And just, if people need advice, if people need some tips, I don't gatekeep anymore. So I think that was the one thing that I just wanted to be, even if I was annoying and relied on clickbait a little bit too often, I just wanted to be just a beacon of baseball. That's all I wanted. And if other people came along with me, the more the better. Yeah, I know. I mean, I remember it was like incredibly helpful, because what happened was three things. My brother was interning for us, and I was putting the breakdowns just on Twitter. And then I had decided to do them for the whole league, not just Yankees, in 2019. And we had a blog that we were like running, like a website. You said 2018?
Early 2019.
Okay.
Yeah, so I would put the Twitter link on the blog, but if people went to the blog, they weren't going to watch an embedded Twitter video. Those are annoying.
Yeah, never.
So my brother was like, put them on YouTube. I had a YouTube channel with like 3,000 subscribers. It was for other shit. And we did that. And the first one I put out was Culpa telling Hinch I can do whatever I want. That was the first like non-Yankees one and lip reading one. And it did really well on Twitter, like crazy well. But on YouTube, it kind of picked up too. So then I was posting them all on YouTube, and didn't have monetization on because I was worried about that. So, but that was my brother.
Like copyright?
Yeah, he was like, put him on
Okay.
YouTube. And then guy from MLB, who he reached out and he was like, hey, like I heard you say you're scared, but don't worry, like they get claimed, but some fall through the cracks, and that'll really, the fun they might earn. And then I monetized them, and holy shit, dude, it went from a future to no future like that. Like the first day that money came in, and I remember DMing you and be like, dude, what do you get? It says this is my estimated revenue, but what do you actually get? Because I didn't want to get ahead of myself. Because I mean, it was something like added up to $100,000 a year at the time. Like it was, the week one, where whatever that math is, 2,000 a day or 500 a day. I don't know what it was. And I was like, whoa. Yeah. I was like, whoa, that's crazy. And I remember messaging you and be like, is it real? And you were like, yeah, that's what you're going to get.
Yeah, because we also look to you as fellow creators because we can't pull those kinds of views. So when we saw you getting hundreds of thousands, potentially millions of views, and then we saw how much you were making, or like the ceiling was lifted through your breakdowns. We thought that baseball was it was plateaued. You could only make $5,000 a month. I had a killer month on YouTube. And then all of a sudden your breakdowns came about and the ceiling was just blown off. And still to this day, I sometimes I just think to myself how far we've come. And I don't know if we give ourselves enough credit because we just are so busy all the time, families, jobs. But realistically, like we worked fucking hard. And then when those first paychecks started paying dividends and you could then translate dollars into team members and team members into more content and more dollars, it still blows my mind that we've been able to do this.
Yeah, no, it's crazy. And those early days of turning that on was nuts because they were claiming like 50% of the videos. I wasn't playing any algorithm game, but then like it went the first week, I was like, oh shit, this is like $100,000. Like Jake, we're making even 12. And then it like tripled, like the next week and the next week. And it's just kept kind of growing a little bit to the point where Jake and I put ourselves on decent salaries, like took the $300K, put ourselves on like livable salaries for New York City, and we're able to hire employees. But the next thing that happened was you called and we're like, dude, just put
the hashtag
code Jomboy in your hashtag.
I never asked for an update. It was just it was unsolicited advice, but I don't know if it was because the SeatGeek code is stupid sometimes in terms of how crazy it can get on a weekly basis. So if I think to myself, actually, with your breakdowns and people seeing that, I can't imagine how much that accrued to. It
was pretty nuts that year, that 2019, because then 2020 happened after that, and they took it down. But
that's right.
But I believe, if I'm doing the math right, I think that year you told me to turn it on, and it was like just put hashtag. You don't even say it in the video. Don't say it anywhere. Just put SeatGeek code Jomboy in the hashtag. So that was like, 3 things of advice that led to it becoming like, shit, we have something here that we can like build off of. And that basically got us that we hired Joe's off the SeatGeek money. Like, wow, and it was like a part-time, it was like a part-time, like it wasn't a full-time. That took a while because he had a good job, but like, be part of the team. And I think the SeatGeek money in October, we got like $6,000. Damn. But before that, it was like 1,000, 2,000, 1,500, 2,000 a month, maybe less. But it was something like that where
significant.
Where we did it out for the year, and it was like it was a salary. It was like we can add someone here, but not full time, but like a part time, like stipend-esque thing. And we took it and we said, Joe's like, come join the team because we wanted to make it clear it wasn't going to be Jake and I right away to like everybody. And we love Joe's, and he like was a different dynamic. We didn't fully know how to like do whatever we wanted to do with him. But yeah, that was the SeatGeek money then.
That's crazy. I did not know it was. I thought it was just because without verbally saying it, I thought what difference could it really make? But the fact that it was just there, idle and waiting for people to see it, and it turned into that, I never knew that. That's actually some cool information.
That was like our second biggest revenue stream in 2019.
Because I believe, they went away in 2019. I remember that hurt me so bad because it was just a constant. You knew
Yeah.
Whether it was a shitty month on YouTube or whatever, you knew that SeatGeek was going to have your back. And for the longest time, and then also, I don't know if it happened to you, but they fudged up on their back end for at least a year and a half. And I don't know if it happened to you, but me and a lot of other creators, we just got a big fat payment randomly from SeatGeek because they weren't tracking codes correctly for a year and a half. And then all of a sudden, just in your account right there. I don't know if that ever happened to you, but it was.
We have a different, because we have actually like
you guys have an
with
actual
them now. So the affiliate link, it's not an affiliate payment. It's like, a huge upfront and then splits here and there or whatever. Like, but they buy, so it's different now for us. But they've still been very friendly and like awesome. Like I actually love SeatGeek. They're the biggest, like easy out of all the big sponsors, easiest believers in like, hey, we have this idea, we want to do this, and they're like, go ahead. Like they don't make me send in for reviews or anything.
Oh, so you just kind of make something and then it's like, okay, we trust you.
Yeah, yeah.
Wow.
So I'll give SeatGeek some big breakdowns because I like them.
I know that you guys and Dodger Films are really the only people I know that have hardcore deals with SeatGeek. For the most part, it's just use code Fuzzy, use code Cougs or whatever it is. So the fact that you guys were able to kind of pivot into a full-blown deal, do you think that you're leaving money on the table with this deal, or is it?
No. The SeatGeek one's pretty significant deal for us. That's a good one. It's like an official partnership type thing over the full year.
But you paid back the advice to me. I remember one time you said, don't sell individual videos, try and sell a full month of videos. I applied that recently, and dude, it's been absolutely nuts, that mindset of trying to leverage your platform as a whole as opposed to a one-off video.
Yeah, because everyone wants.
I don't know if you remember that.
Yeah, it's like, no, and make them buy some social stuff now too.
Yeah, right? Like a tweet or two,
or like a reel. If you like, and I'll put your logo on. If you buy this month, you'll get your logo or the code or whatever, or a tag on X reels this month. Like, they know what's going on. Sometimes I remember reaching out to you, or maybe it was Foolish or someone, about just seeing what was good with a company's CPM rate or something like that, and being disappointed and being like, that's bullshit. Maybe it wasn't me then. I'm like, you need ask for this.
I remember you told me about that. Like, dude, your CPM you're definitely not asking for what you're worth. And as a young creator, it's hard to ask for what you're worth because these people are much smarter with the linguistics and all of this different terminology. I don't know what I'm talking about. I'm a college dropout who lucked into a YouTube position. I don't know
Have you had help with sales? Like, do you have any like agency that helps, or is it coming to you?
I had an agency and they're currently sunsetting. So they're still taking some portions of my deal, even though I'm not getting much help. But that ends in July. So at that point I'll be a free agent. But I mean, I've been having a good time. I feel like I've learned a lot to the point where I negotiated a recent deal and, they lowballed me and I was able to kind of prove my worth and got what I wanted. So I don't know if I need someone helping me, although the emails suck horribly. I hate the emailing part of it. I don't know if you have delegated that part, but back and forths with edits and you need to change this. You did not have a logo here. Oh my God.
Yeah. No, I kind of learned that from, I don't do it anymore, but I was pretty hard on a lot of that stuff. And I would just say no to deals. We can't do that now. Like, as we grow and we need revenue, we can't be as like dickish, or not dickish, but like protective. Yeah. But I was very protective of the audience and being like, my audience isn't ready for this. They're not ready for a 3-minute video to have a 1-minute ad. They'll never be. So like the breakdowns are a huge fight to be able to just do 15 seconds. It's like,
that's it. 15 seconds.
It's a mention at the top, which is like 5 seconds long. And then it's 15 to 30, just the call to action line at the end.
Wow. So because you didn't want to ruin watch time for the sake of
they're just so short, if like they want 60 seconds, some of them they were only 2 minutes like that. What? I can't do that.
I don't know if it's something that you're comfortable sharing, but we all know that 8 minutes gets you access to, you can put mid rolls on a, What is your RPM and how often do you get copyright claimed on your breakdowns? Do you do enough fudging with the video to the point where you don't get copyrighted anymore? And are you in the $4 RPMs or are you in the tens? If you don't want to share.
The copyright thing is we would dispute it for a long time with MLB and say this is fair use. Like, I fully transcended this. I'm voicing it over. I'm completely changing it. The first thing I did when I got the 300 grand investment is I spent like a giant chunk on it with copyright lawyers to learn as much as I could about fair use, about how to make merch, about what's the line and what's no, like 100% in the wrong. And like, no, this is kind of right. And how do I edit, do the breakdowns and make them like, not in as fair use as I can. And I spent like a lot of money with a law firm and sat me down and we did like a whole dissertation basically.
Dude, that's huge.
So yeah, in my opinion, they're fair use. They get viewed as fair use. We would dispute them and the dispute would get go away and the claims would go away for a while. And now they just kind of don't get claimed. I do edit, like I edit them a ton. So if they will get claimed, I'll go and make sure I edit it better to make it even more positive. It's fair use. You know what I mean?
Yeah, because a lot of people ask me, Fuzzy, how do you get your how come your videos don't get claimed? Like they do get claimed, but I think people have this idea in the head that someone is sitting at MLB behind a desk manually claiming videos. It's just a robot. So if you
it's also a setting. So certain leagues on their YouTube set it as like go fucking hard. Don't
NFL is awful. I don't know if you've
NFL is pretty bad. A lot of college sports, there's this company called XOS Digital, but they own the YouTube rights to those college sports. So it actually makes sense that they're pretty like.
But you can DM those people actually. I've heard that people have had success DMing them and saying, "Can you whitelist me or something?" And they'll. I think they.
I make those guys like a lot of money, so I doubt they take
it.
Well, they always get all the money.
Damn, but you don't do those videos often, right? Because it's just a waste of 4 or 5 hours.
Because I dispute it, and they say no. But a lot of other leagues will say, yeah, that is fair use. You're right, and they'll release the claim.
Damn, I've always wondered about that behind the scenes. If it's just you're just still killing it, or if it was still an annoying grind.
It's in a grind sometimes. I've gotten better and smarter at it. Like cricket, I fully put my face in now.
You guys do a lot.
Yeah,
content is all over. Like. Not all over the place in a bad way, but the breakdowns are still killing it. The trivias are some of my favorite. The ref guests. I mean, that started a whole kind of new compartment of baseball content. Now a lot of people are doing it. And that's one of my favorite series. I was so bummed when I couldn't fly out because my ear. I was like, fuck, I can't do a ref guest now. Yeah, we got to get you back out. No, I want to so bad. But I mean, just the people you've hired. Like I love Jolly. I love Jake. Trevor. Is Trevor still staying with the podcast now that he's with?
Yeah. Yeah, okay. He's just doing that as well. But I talked to Baseball Doesn't Exist. We talked to Foolish a little bit. I mean, always wanted to reach out to you, but then we kind of froze like adding because it was almost like with Jolly, we talked to him and he was like, I want to be part of something bigger. And he was local. We're like, all right. And then, Foolish wanted to do his own thing. He was like, I want to stay independent. I always got the vibe that you were wanting to be like, and also huge, like crushing it independently.
No, me and Jake, we were probably just drinking or something. It was just a pie in the sky. We had a few drinks idea. I was like, dude, I would give you guys a cut of my videos just to get some help with editing or scripting these things because it's just the daily grind is awful. Like it makes my life better and worse at the same time. And it just never happened. And I don't know, maybe it's a good thing that everyone has their own kind of thing that they stick to and their own kind of perception on how to make content. But it's just one of those, if you said, hey, Fuzz, I'll give you a salary, a guaranteed salary, as opposed to worrying about if your RPM is up or whether or not YouTube accidentally didn't post to the sub box, whatever stupid YouTube thing is going on any given day, I would take I would take less money.
That's interesting. I wouldn't have guessed that. So maybe I always should ask instead of just guessing.
I would take.
You're free agent in July. Well, we'll chat.
Yes.
But I'm on paternity leave.
Oh, you are? You have another one coming?
Yep. Yeah. End
no
of June.
Way.
Yeah. So I'll be nice and busy, but a girl this time. But yeah, no, but we should chat. I don't know where our company is going to be at and where the ad is, but obviously you have a huge community that's different. The other conversation I wanted to have with you is your audience and like respect them really well. Like it skews younger. What subjects. I remember you DMing me about something. We don't have to. If you remember it, we don't. It was something adult, like storyline. And you were like, dude, I don't know if I should even give baseball news. I don't even know if I should share this because I skew younger. And you were asking for like kind of help. And I was like, yeah, I don't. You're in a tough spot there.
Yeah, no, I think it was the Bauer thing because the details got so graphic, and I saw that you guys, Trevor, everything, you guys did bring up the details and everything. I was like, how is that going to play out? I know that my audience skews younger, so I can't get into the full story, or maybe I can, but maybe I'm going to be a sellout if I don't. So it was just that whole kind of spaghetti brain of what do I delve into? And then it was just, I'm going to talk about it. I'm not going to shy away from it, but do I have to get into the full nitty gritty of everything that was online? No. And I don't think that anyone wants that stuff anyways.
Yeah. But I just thought it was awesome of you to like understand your audience and be mindful of that.
Dude, I still don't curse, anything like that.
Yeah. I wish I could stop cursing and we could like tone it down, but you've never had a parent come up to you and like give you a hug and say, yo, I appreciate that I can sit down and watch you with my family and not have to worry about cursing. And I think if someone came up to you and gave you that positive feedback, I get the opposite. Should ask Jake how many times a little kid and a parent, like, it's the only YouTube I allow him to watch that has cursing.
Jeez.
I'm like, oh shit. But lip reading the players, they're screaming. I'm saying it. I thought it'd be weird to bleep that out, especially now that I'm in too deep with like the breakdowns. Like if they say fuck, then I say fuck.
Yeah, like I can't remember what it was a couple of days ago. I think it was maybe a Yankees breakdown. Someone said fuck, and then in my recap I was saying frickin'. And I'm like, this is so bad. Like I do not want to say frickin'.
Yeah,
you know what I'm talking about?
That's how I'm like, I can't do that now. I already said it,
That's why so kind of like my plan behind the scenes is I want to keep doing the recap, but also I just want to be more free and unrestricted. Like you guys had the daily thing and you kind of felt like you had to kind of be at a certain place at a certain time every single day. It's just not fun. And I want to be able to be myself more and invite people, have a set, and do a daily show with my brother, because my older brother Spencer, not Chasen, because my older brother's much funnier than I am. He doesn't really know the most about baseball, so I feel like it'd be a good bridge of casual fan meets me. We have a full set, and I don't want to be able to curse and stray away from the daily recaps and just make videos and take advantage of the increased RPM with 20-minute, 30-minute videos and just change it up a little bit, because I don't know if you experience burnout, but I love my job. I'm very blessed, but I've been doing it for so long. I sometimes wonder where the road ends, because everyone falls off at one point. So it's just,
I experience burnout the end of every day.
Like, do you?
Yeah, especially having a kid, and because I would go crazy before we had the baby, and like I had a 50-minute commute. I just work, man. I would take off. We'd have dinner with Katie. We'd hang out. But as soon as she was asleep, that was like, okay, 3 more hours of working. And I can't do that anymore. I'm so tired. So
you enjoyed it though, right? Working that hard and seeing your hard work blow up.
Yeah. I really enjoy the chase. Like when a big moment happens and I was free and had the energy to go run and just like tackle it. That was a high. I don't have that energy now. Like if something happens at 10 p.m. at night, I'm like, I'll get this tomorrow.
Because Jimmy, you're 33?
4 now. Yeah.
34. Okay.
But
yeah. So at that point you have a family. Like you definitely are. I'm trying to get to the point where when I have a family and a wife and everything, that I can delegate and not just be working all the time.
I mean, just do baby steps, right? But you got enough time to cut like one thing out. Like, just tell people you're going to condense the weekend into one video, or you're going to not do Mondays because usually or Thursdays because there's less games, or whatever. You know what I mean? Like if you took all the Thursday games and just pivot them to Friday, or you got to find one little step that makes sense in your brain to give you like 1 inch of breathing room, and then that'll feel good. And then you'll find the next one and the next one.
I thought about, if anything, if I just don't feel like making a video, I'll just go live and do a live recap and just still get the content out there, but at least it's different.
Yeah, live is community building, so that gets you takes 5 hours into 1 hour, and there's still perks there. So I like that idea.
I just need Aaron Boone to come and join me on a podcast. That guy, you guys are crushing it with that stuff, by the way.
Thanks. It's tough, man. It's like it's one of the ones every time we go to it, I'm like, how are we gonna tackle this? How are we gonna
No, you guys structure it very well. Did you guys talk to him about the Aaron Judge thing? Has that video come out yet?
Yesterday, before the rest of it came out, and he basically opened up the Zoom and was like, I know there's one topic you're going to want to ask me about, but I got to be pretty boring about it. And I was like, yeah. So all I did was I structured the question like, if there was a tip and Judge was finding out about the tip, you still wouldn't admit to that, right? And he was like, no. And it's like, okay, great. So there's no need to do this bullshit dance. The audience knows, we know.
Does that get stressful trying to like toe the line of I'm going to be a content creator and not? Because I see people saying, oh, he's not going to ask him the hard hitting questions. So is it difficult to toe the line of I want to make sure I respect him, but also like he came to Jomboy and this is what we do.
It's more of like, how do we creatively get into that conversation?
Because you started doing topics, right?
Yeah. People think that if you get into the conversation without antagonizing, then you're not like asking about the tough questions. But we'll get into the conversation of like, dude, I don't think this decision worked. Here's why. And then he'll say, this is why he did it. And we'll say, but what about this? Like, I threw Abreu's inherited runners numbers at him last step because they're terrible. I was like, they're awful, right? Like, so we're getting there, but because it doesn't come off as like, why did you put Abreu in? Like, he stinks. The dumb people will be like, softball questions, you're not tough. And it's like, you just want something that's never going to happen.
What comes to my mind in terms of that is when you asked them about Clark Schmidt and his cutter versus lefties. I was like, that's a good, solid, you did your research question. And not that you were questioning his baseball IQ, but it is a valid, that guy fucking sucks with that one pitch against lefties. We saw it versus Cleveland. I was dumbfounded that it was a live experiment in the big league. So I was like, how does he ask these questions and get away with it? But you just have a Jimmy charm about you where you can say something and, oh, right, I'll answer this question.
Jake and I, like, that's one of the ones, especially on Talkin Yanks, where we kind of go, where we like really like gotta figure out how are we going to get into this. It's been fun though, like trying to navigate that. It's a different challenge, and he's fun. Like, he's good. He wants to have those conversations. But if we just present it like we're beat reporters, he's going to answer like we're beat reporters and kind of just give nothing answers.
Hey, I mean, you guys do a great job. I watch those videos. The Ref Guest videos and the Boone videos are my food content now, where it's like, I get a Chipotle burrito, you guys are special. You guys have a special place in my heart. I'm watching you while I eat food.
Well, we got to get you out here to do Ref Guest and all the other gamut. We'll try to figure out another time, get you in the warehouse and do the whole thing.
Yeah, no, I'm down. I want to do that and be back on camera because I pretty much stopped all the IRL stuff, but I'm going to try and make a comeback here soon and delegate more and heed all your advice before I burn out.
I mean, we're all learning as we go. I might have different advice in 2 months, But would you, Matty? Do you know our RPM? Is that the CPM or is that different?
I don't even look at CPM anymore because CPM fluctuates so much, but RPM is exactly how much you make. So I just go off RPM. But also for the people who are watching it who are just curious, like CPM just isn't based off the style of video. It's also how big your reach is, and the ad space, people and companies will spend more dollars. I don't know, like sometimes I'll have random videos with a 25 CPM, and it's because a certain company put ads on that video because I talked about them. Because
they attack categories. They're like, they'll go to YouTube and be like, we want to spend $1 million over these 60 days on videos of this category. So there's something about the breakdowns that they're so general. I think they accept the funnel of what categories people buy and get into the breakdowns is big. Like, it's not niche. Like, it's not like people are buying baseball videos. It's kind of, I think we just fall into,
it's
like,
more broad in general, so it appeals to more, and you probably skew older as well and people who have an disposable income.
Yeah, we skew into the right demographics for sure. Even our warehouse games is like probably the only creator league, wiffle ball, blitzball place that doesn't have a teenage audience.
Like, so you guys skew.
We skew 18 to 35, which is wild for that type of content.
Is that what YouTube says? I never believed that.
Oh, how do they know? But yeah, that's going off YouTube.
Because there was a stat, because some guy named Dream, he's a Minecraft YouTuber. He posted a screenshot proving like, yeah, most of my creators aren't 18 to 25 or whatever he said, but a study came out that 74% of kids lie about their age. So that's why a lot of kids come up to me, but it says on YouTube, my main demographic is 18 to 34. I'm like, dude, they're definitely on their mom's account or something.
That's funny. Yeah, that's probably true. Because how do they know? I mean, you just got to be honest, or on your parents' account.
Right.
So many people have like dual accounts or just whatever Roku TV is signed in or whatever. But
right.
yeah, that's kind of funny. All right. Well, you're in the grind and you're trying to find your way out slightly.
I still have a lot of gas in the tank. But if an opportunity is presented to me, even if it means less money, to somehow grind less and still make 3 or 4 videos a week and they're higher quality of some sort. Cause I don't know what other baseball creators think of my videos or my channel, like who Fuzzy is. Is it more, oh, he makes videos for kids?
You need to find like a local kid that watches your videos. Like the best help you're going to get if you wanted, even for the summer, is to find someone local that you could meet in person every now and then, pass a hard drive back and forth, but they watch your videos. That's the easiest path you're going to get to someone who like understands your grind, understands your tone, and that you'd be able to like teach, hey, you know how I do this sometimes? Well, this is how, and this is why, and it's easier. And they'll care more. That's why we were so successful, is because all of our early hires were people that tuned into the content and believed in the content and understood the tone of it. So it was very easy to be like, hey, this is what we're doing. And then we're pulling the rope. So that would be like if you wanted to get an intern or something. Yeah.
Yeah, with Matt, I think he was doing the pack openings with, what's his name? Phil Hughes. I was like, this guy gets it. He knows baseball and he knows how to like properly pace a baseball style video, even if it was just cards. So when I saw he was signed to you guys, I was like, fuck, that's the one guy I wanted to invest in was Matt early on in the day. Because I don't know if Matt remembers, but I think him and I talked about, maybe it was briefly, but we talked about working together.
We had combos back in the day, and yeah, then it was like a month later I signed with Jomboy.
You were like the greeter of all baseball creators. That's what I was saying. You reached out.
Yeah. Well, that was my strategy. With Phil, I would just like, I was saying like Bauer, when he did his camp and he had like a bunch of young MLB players come and he told them, I zoomed in on every picture and every guy I recognized. I just sent them a message that said, smart. Oh, if you ever want to make videos, I can edit them. And then that was obviously before Jomboy Media. So now that I'm doing that, I no longer am like fishing for one-off videos so often. But yeah, that was the strategy.
You kill it, man. I love what you do, by the way. Like, I know you've played a part. Hopefully you give yourself credit too. Like, I'm sure Jimmy would tell you, but you've definitely helped Jomboy become what it is. Because if it wasn't for Jomboy, you would have been on my team, which still hurts me.
Thanks, man.
Didn't realize
that. Well, once July rolls around, maybe we could link it back up.
Ooh, I don't know. That would be an interesting conversation. I don't know how that stuff works, because an ad agency is just, we'll just do emails and stuff. I don't know.
Yeah, no, but we don't like being an ad agency either, because we want people that are in the mix and can appear here and do like other shit with us and kind of be part of our ecosystem. But I'd love to chat with you about whatever it could be. But who knows where we're at? Who knows where you're at? But we'll put it on the docket. Sounds nice.
I feel like that's just the proper step. Everyone's got stepping stones, and I don't know. We both have haters and lovers.
Yeah. It's getting much easier for me to drown out the people that, my computer died.
I think Jimmy's webcam, whatever happened, I don't know what happened, but thank you guys for having me. I really appreciate the conversation. I love talking about this stuff. So if you guys ever need a fill in, or Jimmy computer just died. Yeah. If you guys ever need a fill in, or if people are interested in the whole content creation side of things, SEO, I'm sure that Jimmy would love to talk more about RPM and stuff like that, keywords, descriptions. I'm always going to be willing, and get me on a ref guest. I don't care if I'm not in New York. Get me on a ref guest.
Love it. No, we could definitely make that happen.
Yeah. And if anyone, I'll be looking at the comments. So if any of you guys have random questions, just leave them down there. And if I can answer, I'll pop in and see what I can provide.
Sweet. Thank you so much, Fuzzy.
All right. That was Preston is his real name. Did you know that?
Yep.
I didn't know Shelfie's real name for a long time until I saw it on the list for Ball and Play.
That's when I figured out Shelfie's name too was Ball and Play.
Ball and Play's a month out.
Yeah, it's coming up fast.
Jam packed. I wonder if this is going to be a learning for us, if we should spread it out after Blitzball Battle 3 is getting so much hype, or no, we have so much audience right now. It's like, how NBC puts their best show
Yeah.
right after the Super Bowl. It's like let them linger and stick around.
Yeah.
We'll have to see what we think afterwards if we like it or not.
They also put like tester shows after The Bachelor too. So
Yeah, to get that audience.
yeah. But we have a number of questions from the YouTube chat or the YouTube comments of the last video. So I will kind of rip through these and we just converse and see where this goes.
Yeah. We asked for comments, and we didn't think that episode was going to get. We knew that. I thought that episode would get good views. I didn't think it was going to get that many.
Yeah, it was
views
awesome.
and comments. So, Matty sorted through, and yeah, if it's a quick answer, I'll make it a quick answer because, we already did the interview and all that other stuff.
So I think that we're starting with a quick answer, but this was the first or second most common comment question-wise. Why do we not post everything to just one or maybe even two channels? This comes
The
from
Death Wish.
Alice Yabi and
Alice!
CC Dadan were both two comments that specifically asked this. And
Alice is in the live chats a lot for the warehouse. She's in the live chats. We're talking Yanks.
heck yeah.
Alice Yabi, right?
Yeah.
Thanks, Alice. I guess it's a good question if you don't know how the algorithm works, but we did this in 2020.
Yeah.
And when you hear it, I think it's easy to understand is, if I post a bunch of 5-minute videos on the main YouTube channel and everybody watches them and they get, guaranteed to get 500K views or over 300K views. And then we post, this is what we did. We post, a 10-minute clip from Talkin Baseball or a 10-minute or a 20-minute sequence episode or 20-minute GM Files episode. Like we had some podcasts like what Baseball Today is going out, and you could see that YouTube wasn't putting it on anyone's feed because in their head, they're like, people subscribe to this channel for short form videos, not 20-minute videos. The 20-minute videos actually get no views in comparison. YouTube is in the interest of promoting what people are watching because they get a cut of all the AdSense money. So they're not going to promote something if it's not making them money, which is getting views. So Trev was doing sequence and you could see it would get like 20K views, but you could see that 19,000. I had all the math back then. 19,000 didn't watch past the first 15 seconds. Okay, so then how many people were watching at the 2-minute mark? And it was like 500 of the 20,000 views. Mm-hmm. So then we put it on its own channel. It would get 2,000 views, but at the 20-minute mark, it would have, 1,500 views. So we actually got 1,000 more views of actual audience. And they promoted it more because people that clicked it were watching it. So if you post stuff on YouTube channels, that is not what the YouTube channel is for. It's just a death wish. It's just, you're just killing content. It's so niche,
Yep, and there's analytics, like you said, to back this as well. So, we can go in and see each video's number of impressions, which just means number of times YouTube showed this to somebody on their app. Mm-hmm. And content that falls out of the niche of that channel is going to have significantly less impressions. Hence why it's just better to open a bunch of niche channels.
Yeah, and algorithm aside, it's also just audience.
Yeah.
People that listen to Talkin Yanks are like diehard Yankees fans, and they don't care about other teams or other sports. Like they're just like, imagine you subscribe to something because it's one thing and then it changes. That's not great. And people that watch the breakdowns don't care about recapping the entire league or, it's just obviously different.
Yep. And one of our other channels, and this was the second most asked, if not the first, was about Shea Station. If you don't know, Shea
Trev
Station
just joined.
Hey, Trev.
You're gonna see Trev. We're killing every team today on Talkin Baseball. I waved to him.
Shea Station is a show that has recently been sunsetted.
Oh yeah.
A lot of people were asking, why is that the case? Will it ever come back?
I thought that Jerry and Jolly had a great rapport and we're doing good stuff. covering a single team is really hard, and I don't know how many single teams in baseball could carry a podcast that balances out what we put into it. You know, people's contracts, producers, editors, time. And Shea Station never got to the point where we thought it was going to get. And I don't know why. Maybe there's just not, the market just might not be there, because the show was good. They did a great job. I liked it. But yeah, it just, you know, as you continue to do shows and check off numbers and stuff, it wasn't making sense. Also, Jolly, his other endeavors are absolutely crushing it. So Jolly has a slot on JM Baseball once a week now of make a trivia game, do what you want, have fun. Mm-hmm. And what he's created for us is a place to, you know, whip around through all our talent. Guests can come through, sit and play, you know, like Trey Turner played, a bunch of players played his different trivia games. They crush on socials, they crush on YouTube. They're like really growing. So as a company, you're like, hey, we need to free up Jolly to do this, because he also, talking to him, he's enjoying that a ton. It's not like he wants to do more, and he had all these ideas and fun. So, yeah, it just, this is going really well. And if Jolly had more time, he could continue to do this that he's enjoying and doing really well, versus the grind of covering one single team. And I think there's maybe 5 teams in MLB where you could have a single podcast dedicated, and whether they're good or bad, you're going to get downloads.
Yep. Completely agree. And that honestly tackled the next question from Jacob Brazell. And shout out to Paul Nunes and Michael Cahill for just being some of the people that asked about Shea Station. Nice. Jacob was asking, as a New York-based company, is there other teams that we would put in time in order to create a show dedicated just to them? And like you're saying, I think it's very tough to find the teams that would fit that realm.
It's also a grind. I don't think people realize like how much of a grind it is to cover a baseball team in depth. You have to watch every game naturally, and then you have to. We do Talkin Yanks 3 times a week now, but to get it started, I didn't miss a single game. I tweeted about 100 tweets a tweet for 100 tweets a game, or 50 tweets a game for 3 years. And that wasn't just tweets. It was videos, GIFs. It was live coverage. Jake and I did a pregame show for 4 years maybe, or 3 years. 19, 20, 21, 22. This is the first year that I'm not doing. Last year I did half and half. So 3 years of a pregame show. And in 2019 we did every game. In 2021 we did almost every game, where we would do Instagram Live beforehand. So you're talking about now 8 episodes a week of sitting and recording. Oh, and we did 4 episodes a week talking Yanks in 2020 and 2021, not 3. So you're saying, okay, watch every game. There's 6 or 7 a week. Tweet actively during those games, not just like your thoughts. Like I can't just be at a park tweeting. I had 2 computers up making GIFs and videos. Post-game recap after every game. 3-4 full-length podcasts, and then 6 or 7 20-minute podcasts a week. This was just Talking Yanks. Like that's the grind you have to do to cover a team and get people to be like, yeah, they're pretty active. They know they know what's going on. And if we have creators that want to do that and understand that you have to do that, and also doing it for, what the podcast comes back as. I just don't think you're going to find people that really want to do that as in the 5 teams that are there, and how long it takes to grow it. If someone's there, they're already doing it, and then they have that and they want to continue it, and they also want to then be part of our like ecosystem here of warehouse games and trivia and stuff in the office as like other shit, then that would be great. But yeah, I don't the grind of that sucks.
Yep. Yeah, especially to grow it. It gets so time consuming and tough. Next question here as we rip along. Is there more plans for a remote contest? The Corn Maze episode was awesome, coming from C. Mel.
Corn Maze was really fun. And the apple picking got a ton of views for that brand new channel as well. We have a couple in mind. We had a couple big things that were just kind of halted to get through the summer a little bit and make it our lives easier. But we do have barbecue games, which we're doing on rooftop, I believe. That's still in the works, right?
I believe so.
I think we're going to do a corn maze again. It never snowed. We wanted to go to a sledding hill, like get everyone in the car and go to sledding hill and like make a snowman and do like festive shit at a winter place, but it never snowed. And then we have to think of more. I think we thought of a bunch and we'll see. But yeah, the corn maze, I think we were referring to those as like field trips.
Yeah, field trips.
But yeah, the corn maze was really fun. We can do that again in October as well.
We'll
Barbecue
definitely
games is the only one, right? That's like on the map. I wanted to go to that Wipeout place too.
That's technically on the map, I think.
Cool.
Yeah. There's a Wipeout type of place in New York City that's technically on our plans. I'm not sure if that will come to reality, but we have barbecue games and then a few more like board game type tournaments after that as well, before the farm videos and winter videos.
Yeah.
I think I should have been cognizant enough to put this question after the last one since it's related. So that's on me. But in terms of other sports content, a lot of people were asking specifically about basketball, about golf, and then about fantasy football and fantasy baseball. Are those avenues that we would ever open shows?
Yeah, if there was, like right now, if there's revenue or like a sponsor tied to it, like if DraftKings was like, hey, we want you to do this and we'll pay you that. Like that's kind of the lane for that now. When we get back into growth mode, I don't see those being any creator's main gig. Don't think there's a return there for someone to just do fantasy sports. They'd have to do other stuff as well. Basically, if you fit our mix of personality and want to be around, you just and have one thing you're doing that's successful. Kenobi at Inside Boxing Live, and then now he's part of all this other stuff and doing other videos that are doing well. So I don't know. I don't really think of it as going to find coverage of this sport or this team or this category. It's more so find people that we think fit our vibe and then see what they fall into.
Yeah, and I think with some of these content, I would like your opinion. If we do stuff in-house, does that make more sense? Like if we do we did a basketball video last week, and it'll come out at some point. But the avenues of basketball, golf, fantasy, I think rather than podcast, we might do some here and there in-house.
Yeah, little like ventures and see if we can do. Golf you can do. There's a huge market for like creator golf coverage and stuff. Maybe it's filled up because I know there's 3 or 4 that are just like beasts in that world. But I don't know. I think they're asking it as like, are you going to hire a fantasy sports person?
They're probably asking it that way,
like,
yes.
It doesn't really... it's not how our brain thinks about just hiring one person to do one thing.
Yeah.
Like we don't want just a ton of satellite creators when we try to build a more ecosystem network of people that are all working together and stuff.
Yeah. Shout out to Marcus, Sean, and Eric for asking about those different things. Another question here, which I'm curious of your answer as well, from Oliver. What is your or the company's mindset on competition?
No mindset. I don't think there's competition on the internet. It's not like TV where you have limited slots and channels. You can watch us and watch anyone else, and I don't know. I probably watch a lot of competition. Like there's no competition.
Yeah.
Can you think of a place where we compete? Like, and we want the other person. Like, if MLW has a wiffle ball league, I want them to be huge, because that's just more people that might watch warehouse games.
Mm-hmm.
There's no. If anyone has a podcast doing baseball, I want them to be huge because that brings more people to the listening to podcasts about baseball. There's not limited space.
Yeah, I think competition is a bad word for it, and I think that what you just said is the exact right thing. We're not competing for limited time.
Yeah.
A lot of spaces are, or you're competing for somebody's business, and that's not really the case. I don't think that competition is the right word. I genuinely think, if anything, we kind of look at companies that maybe other people would view as competitors and try to like figure out what they're doing and does this make sense for us too.
Yeah. Do we want to do that? Do we not want to do that? Can we do that in a different way that fits our vibe? Should we not do that? Yeah, I don't know. I don't think there's any time I'm rooting for anyone else to not do well.
Yeah.
In like whatever industry or niche category we're going into. Make sense?
Yeah. I mean, personally, I watch a lot of other YouTubers.
Yeah.
So
yeah, same. I don't know. I've never thought of it really like that.
Yeah, that's a good answer. The next question, and I also just want you to fill people in. I guess they'll see it at this point. I just think Talkin Baseball is fun today. And then a question from the Spectacular Blah.
The Spectacular Blah.
Is there any plans to bring another host in for a rotating third seat on the Monday and Friday episodes?
No way. No, I mean, not a rotating third. That's such a hard... I don't think people realize how much you have to, like, know. You just get thrown to the wolves if you go onto that Talkin Baseball recap episode and you have to, like, pause and give thoughts on all the teams and stuff. Like, Texas Rangers bullpen. What are your thoughts, Matty? Even if you ask, like, Peter, Moylan, he'd be like,
Yeah.
do we have notes on him?
Yeah.
Who's there? It's just like, no, I think that's setting up people to fail, especially that fan base, which is our, like, the fan base that really goes there just to hear you say nice things about their team, which today's episode is going to be fun because it's the 666th episode of Talkin Baseball. So Jake had the idea to do Devil themed episode, and we just are going to take every team that's in contention and tell the audience, their fan base, why they won't win anything.
Just for my curiosity, does Trevor know what Jake is going to be appearing as in today's episode?
What's he appear? Trev said we should all wear black. That's all I know.
Yeah. And Jake's he's putting on makeup and everything.
Oh, he is?
Yeah.
Oh, I would have put on makeup. Why is he?
Well, it's in the office. Paxton brought it. But it's like black eyes and stuff like that.
Oh. I like when shows do that. Sometimes you watch like comedy podcasts and they're like all dolled up and dressed up. That's why I asked Christina to take our desk and like Christmas it and Halloween it and make it festive. I like when people do that. I didn't know Jake was doing makeup. I would have been in on that.
Still are.
Okay.
I mean, he didn't have it on when we were out there, so.
Yeah. That's why he's dressed like a slob today?
He said him and Sam are matching, so watch out. You might offend Sam.
Strict rule, if you're going to wear a shirt with no sleeves, you better not smell. That's the company policy.
Are you saying he smells?
I don't know. Probably not. Jake's a pretty heavy deodorant user. If you've ever seen him use deodorant, it's kind of like a lot.
Okay.
He does like the full like back of his arm, and then like he gets a little bit on the chest. Like he does like full circles like that.
How many swipes do you normally do?
I'm like an up and down inside the pit.
Yeah, but how
Jake
many?
circles the pit.
That's too much.
Big debate on whether he
Period.
ever gets the pit or not. And I
right.
say sometimes he doesn't. He says no, he always does. But he circles the outside.
That's just
and then comes to
wildly
the
unnecessary.
Middle. Yeah,
and
like a
maybe,
swirl.
Maybe he needs it. I don't know.
Like 3? 1, 2, 3?
Yeah,
3 or
I think
4 swipes. Yeah, up
3.
and down.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So he probably smells fine.
Okay. Well, if anybody else out there that's listening on live has no sleeves, you better put deodorant on.
Well, that might not be. That's just our office policy.
That's what I'm saying.
I've never
People
said it
out there.
I've never said it out loud before.
Well, now you did. If
But
anybody's
anyone
listening
ever asks,
live,
what's the company wardrobe policy?
yeah,
It's if you're gonna wear a sleeveless shirt, you better not smell.
or else.
That's the policy.
Speaking of sleeveless shirts, the other red meat, maybe I shouldn't say that,
Okay.
but
That's their username?
yeah, they
Okay.
asked, as someone who is nowhere near the creator realm, I'm curious, can you talk about how your employees get paid? And we can also cut this if you want. But is it salary, productivity based, living wage? Are there bonuses? How did this change transitioning from one guy on a Mac quote to a sizable business?
Salary mostly. I mean, obviously, there's unique situations where people are more contracted. Their contract is more of like a contractor than a on payroll full-time employee. We're contracting you to do this. 52 episodes of this a year, which is one episode a week, or you're contracted to do this or that, or this many appearances here, this many appearances there. But then there are, our like in-house, I like to have the in-house people on salary. And then, bonus system and structure is something we've been working on a lot. For up until now, we've given out end of year bonuses to a lot of all employees. I don't know what the math or the finite numbers are, but I mean, salary. There's some people that are not full-time employees because we're contracting them to do shows or episodes, but for the majority, salaried employees.
Another business question.
And I was on a salary. I've been on like a contract or a salary since 2019.
Right.
Once like we started making revenue, we like I had a contract salary. Now with the investment, I had to negotiate my contract with the board, the investment group and CA. I think it's a everyone vote type thing. It's like compensation committee, but I'm not just like running on company money. Like I have a 4-year deal.
Interesting.
3-year deal. And
that just means you get to renegotiate it after that?
Yeah.
Okay.
Not get to. It's
have to.
Yeah. I'm in year 2.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. I think when this person was talking about bonuses, they might have been referring to like, is there a bonus? Like if I make a video and it gets X amount of views, do I get a bonus? And it's not like that.
Well, it's not always like that because, if we are paying you a salary and the first year of your contract with us, none of your content is making a return, we're investing in you. So that whole first year is a loss. It's not like you get one video that blows up and now you get a cut of it because we haven't even recouped the company's investment in the creator. So the goal is to get to a point where everybody can earn after investments recouped, and then we're splitting the revenue or profits afterwards. But what we're offering as a company is we offer, a full merch line, producers, editors, a full analytics department, sales team. We're not only paying you your salary, but we're also investing all of our resources into helping you in every way you can and grow. And then, you get to a point where you're past there and renegotiate and work out a new deal.
Yep. Another business-minded question. What is our relationship with Blitzball and this company coming from the robotic technician? It started as a sponsor back in the day, right? But now with these huge battle series, are they involved in any way?
Yeah, we have a relationship with Blitzball. I don't know how much I can say or not say.
Okay.
But I think I can. Well, yeah, we have a relationship with Blitzball. It's in our best interest for Blitzball to go be huge.
And vice versa.
Obviously, like we started out with some, sponsored deals with them, and basically they were like, "Hey, like, there's probably a better way for both of us to pair up here, because you're, doing so much for us." And I'm like, "Yeah, well, we'll continue to like make sure that it's called Blitzball Battle,
Yeah.
and not just
Warehouse battle.
whatever it is." So yeah, but Aaron, founder and creator of Blitzball, is an awesome guy. And like really fun stuff. And he's like the most exuberant, exciting person. He comes to the warehouse and he's like, "Oh,
Yeah.
this is crazy." And I would be too, man. Imagine you create a ball and then like someone just comes and does what we're doing out of it. It's insane. Rose and Moylan and Trevor playing stuff. So I fully understand, but also appreciate it.
Yeah. Regardless of you saying that, once you were done speaking, I was going to say that Aaron is an awesome person. So
Yeah.
you stole the words out of my mouth.
Yeah.
But when the last Blitzball battle, when he was here, him, his wife, and I had a nice convo at the bar, and just his mind is so awesome to hear him speak.
He's an entrepreneur. Like he really
Yeah,
chased after
he
that
is,
and built
really.
it and tried, and it's he had some crazy years, and then COVID hit and all that, but there's so much to do and fun. I'm excited to chat with him again and think of ideas and all that.
He says he's not an on-camera person,
No.
but he is on my list of potential morning guests.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that'd be awesome.
Yeah, it would be. I just don't know if he wants to do it.
Yeah.
The next question comes from Nathan Haley, and he said, Have you had talks about removing your content off YouTube and putting it solely on your own website?
There was another comment that said, like, "Are you reliable on
Yes.
YouTube?" Right?
Yes.
And no, we wouldn't do that. We don't have the algorithm. And actually, like, Barstool did that at the start. They had their own server, and then eventually they were like, "Shit, we should go to YouTube."
And also, I think that this is a big thing for a lot of creators that are not safe for YouTube, but all of our content is advertiser friendly, so it's in our best interest to keep it where the advertisers are.
Yeah, and where the algorithm is and the views,
Sure.
and don't look at it as a negative, look at it as a positive, and hopefully we don't run into like the channel getting like ripped down like or anything like that. But our own website, it's just a huge investment. It's probably way more delayed than I want it to be. I do want our own website where we house everything, but it's a big investment.
And
Do it right, make it work.
Right. And going back to the first question before Fuzzy's interview, they asked, like, why not put everything into one channel? I think once we have a website that features, we could have the list. A lot of people commented that too. It's like, make a website and just put the videos linked like to YouTube so that I don't have to go find every video.
Yeah, that's
think
that's
that
what
works.
a website would be great at, and we
Yeah.
like desperately do need that, because
Yeah.
right now, if someone just like wants to Google what is Jomboy Media, there's no home. It's just to do it how I want to do it is costly, and we'll probably wait till we get to a better spot after the summer or whatever, and we get back to growth mode. And yeah, I really, really want a website where it wouldn't be like blogs where you're writing. And we chatted with Fuzzy about that earlier in this episode, is that because he's like, were you always YouTube planned? I couldn't really get it. I said, no, it was always a company. In my head, it was a website early on. Like Luke convinced me to put the videos on YouTube, and then that helped them blow up. But in my head, what Jomboy Media was a website that housed tons. We were writing all the time, that housed a ton of different like content. And then we had websites, and the upkeep and the publishing sucks. And then like to make it actually like work and good and how you want it to be is a lot of money to invest in it, and then upkeep. But yeah, so that's where my brain. I started out as like, this is a company, not just like I'm not a creator. We're creating a company on websites on a web. So we need that. Whatever. So much money.
When you say we were writing, are you just talking about yourself, or was there other people
No,
writing?
Johnny Pinstripes was writing.
Mhm.
BBD was writing. I would write. I tried to get Jake to write a couple times. It was just like a little.
Yeah.
Like it was like a little blog-esque thing. And then like, post the podcast link with a little caption. I would do like GIF recaps of big Yankee playoff games where I was like, would tell the story of the game through like 20 GIFs I did those a lot. Before I started Jomboy Media, I ran a blog. It was like jomboyblog.com. And I would post 3 times a day. I think I did it for like a year.
Cool.
Yeah.
I had known that part. I didn't know who else wrote on that website.
Yeah, Adam wrote a little bit. Johnny, I'm forgetting people. We had a lot of people helping. It was really just Yankees focused.
Cool. I have 2 more questions, assuming that we can get out of here before Talkin Baseball starts. Bernardo Shabert asked about...
Bernardo Shabert.
Yeah.
Nice.
Shaberte asked about Latin content. So he said, have you guys thought about having a show in Spanish or targeted in the Latino market? MLB has a social team dedicated to it. It's a huge market right now.
It is a huge market, and we've thought of it a lot. And Joez has had guests come on to try and do like Spanish speaking like interviews or shows with him. The problem is they all want to speak English.
The guests.
The guests. They want to reach English speaking audience. So, I mean, he like gamed with Sevi. He did something with Oswaldo, and he's trying to like, and then the players want to do English speaking.
He did say that about Oswaldo. He said, I felt like he only wanted to speak in English.
I think with Sevi way back when they interviewed him back in the day, or was it Glaber, Sevi? Maybe even her mom. I forget who. But he said the same thing.
Right.
So, yeah, there's been a lot of thoughts about that and trying.
And the one other thing that we've now gotten the ability to do and we've talked about on this show before is dub our main channel videos into other languages. And that's something that I really do want to test, whether it's with Joez or with somebody else.
Yeah.
But that would then open, I think, the main channel up to much more of a Latino market.
It'd be really cool. Voiceover is hard.
Yeah.
So I just, the time suck. Could run tests and see how long it takes.
Yeah. It's tough to know what tests. We would have to run multiple tests, I guess is what I'm saying. Because if we put it on the most successful breakdown, but it's old, is YouTube going to re-pump it to a Latino market now? Because I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know how that works either. Or is it just an option?
Right. And then the final question that I had noted down from the comments comes from Taylor Mienma. Not sure what channel or show this would be best for, but any chance we could have your thoughts or analysis on Tata IPL? And do you have a specific team you root for in the IPL?
I don't have a specific team I root for in the IPL. I really wanted RCB to be in the final because they're like the Angels. They have like some of the biggest stars offensively, but they didn't make it. I thought no one was going to beat the Gujarat Titans.
That's what Dalton said this morning as well.
But they lost yesterday, and I'm posting the breakdown on that right now. It was kind of interesting. Yeah, there's 2 other teams. There's LSG, which is kind of like they get overlooked. They're playing today. Starts in 10 minutes. The Super Giants. They're playing the Mumbai Indians, who they're like a team.
MI New York.
Yeah, MI New York. So maybe I root for them. They have an young Australian that hit his first century, which is 100 runs. So maybe I'll root for them today. No, I don't have a team. I just like rooting for thrilling final overs.
Yeah.
That's what they say. But it is fun. Like, I'm just root for the Stars.
Sure.
Big finishes. Only 3 games left. Hey, do you know how we talk about MLB and like, hey, if they had a shorter schedule, it'd be a lot easier to get into. But then you just say, yeah, there's no fucking way MLB is going to take money off the table with shorter games. Australia's domestic cricket league, the BBL, just shortened their season. And everyone is like, thank God. I mean, it's 3 months and now it's 2 months or something like that over the summer. It's very secondary. It's not the top class. Like MLB is the top of baseball. This isn't that. It's just a domestic summer. Like, it's the best Australians. But it's not even the best Australians because the international players don't play in it. But I just thought it was funny that they shortened it and that everyone's reaction was like, yes. Because in our head over here, we're just like, they'd never do that. Which is true. But they should. Baseball would be easier if it was 140-something games and you had, you know, a game every Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and then you had a 4-game series and an off day, and then you had a 4-game series, no off day. Then the next week it was Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday off, 4-game series, 3-game series, and it was just like very regimented. Every other Monday was off. Something like that. And less games. Not going to happen ever. All
Last thing.
Yeah. Oh, one last
We
thing.
just got a Slack from HR Tracy. It's photo day this upcoming month. How about that?
It's photo day?
Yeah, apparently. Company photo shoot. Create a look that you love and get your photo taken by Taylor and be ready to see it on company docs and platforms.
Nice. All the pictures that they use of Jake and I are really old, so.
No, not that. Not your Twitter profile pic.
Yeah, but that wasn't. But like when they do articles, they use like the billboard shoot and stuff.
Yeah, I mean, even on our Talkin Yanks promo, that's an old pic. The event promo.
That's the one that most recently I was like, this is like a 3-year-old photo.
Yeah, you look a lot different.
Yeah, I think it's also like photoshopped because my eyes look all like pinned back.
That's Photoshop for you.
Yeah. All right, we got to go rip apart some teams on Talkin Baseball. Should be a good time. Thanks. See you later. See you next week. Leave comments, subscribe. Appreciate you. Goodbye.